Good morning, everyone, from Linda in Northeast Texas, USA. It's so good to have you here with me. Today we're going to just briefly, I want to show you how I make this little scrappy boho pouch here for the phone. As you can see, it holds, this is an iPhone, it holds that just fine. And it's made out of scraps, and it's made just simple. It's very boho in style. Okay, so let's go through this just real simple. If you want to screenshot this or whatever, this is a list of the 5 steps. I'm going to demonstrate with this piece of batting. My batting is 13 by 7.5 inches for this size right here. 13 by 7.5 inches. And what I did was I laid it down straight. I took my different fabrics and I just sewed them on. You can see, just sewed them on this piece of batting down, down the inside seams. All right, securing all of those. All right. Then I didn't do the outside seams yet. I just sewed all of that. Then I took it after I sewed it and turned it over and turned up my bottom and turned down my top, which made it look like this. Okay. All the scrappy pieces were showing on the outside. When I did that, I knew where I wanted to put my little Velcro piece, right here. So I wanted to sew it to this area right here on top of the scrappy side. So I positioned that, took it to machine and sewed it on. Okay, so then I had a scrappy piece sewed on all the center seams and my little Velcro thing right here. Okay, so then I turned it over and I laid a piece of just simple cotton fabric on top of that for a lining, and then I sewed that all the way around while it was flat, right very close to the edge, all the way around, just secured that lining. Okay, now the next thing I did was I took it, I folded it back up, and I folded my flap over, and that's how I decided where the top piece of Velcro was going to go so that it would line up. So you fold it over and then fold it back, and you'll see where it needs to be, and you put it right there, and then you sew it on. Just sew it on like that. Okay. The next thing I did was then I took and I sewed the seam right here from here to here down to create the pouch part. Okay. Then, in order to cover up where I sewed the Velcro to because it showed the stitching and the little showed under this, on this part, I took some cardstock and I took some scrap fabric and I sewed 2 or 3 layers onto this piece of cardstock. Then I got a long strip of cardstock and sewed 2 or 3 layers on that fabric ribbon, a piece of scrap fabric. Okay, then I placed the bigger square one there, then I placed the long skinny one there, and while it was open on my machine, I simply went and stitched all around to secure that piece. Now that covers the Velcro from the top, and so it looks finished and nice from the top. Okay, just a little embellishment that also reinforces and makes this much stronger because it gives it substance there. And so when you're opening and shutting, this is not going to give way on you, okay? So you can see that that completes it. All together, it probably took me 45 minutes, something like that, to create the whole thing, and it's created out of scraps, okay? Certainly not more than an hour. Just have your stuff laying there and just go with it. So let's go over it again just very briefly. Start with a piece of batting. Sew your scraps, all of these, whatever scraps you have. Sew all the center inside seams down so your scraps are adhered good to the batting, okay? Then fold up. You take it and flip it so you can fold it up and determine how you want this fold to go, so that what you've sewn here, your scrap side is up just like this, okay? And then you determine, well, right about here is where I want my connecting piece of Velcro. So you take that, cut it, and then sew it on, okay? You got that? All right. Then open the whole thing up and turn it over to the opposite side. Get your lining fabric, lay it out, sew it all on the edges. Just get it down there. Now, while that's happening, you want to figure out where you want to put this. Fold it back up. Remember that your little piece of Velcro is already here on the scrappy side. Fold this down, then fold it back, and you can see about exactly where you want it. Let me show you on this. I did exactly what I said. I folded it over to see where I wanted that Velcro. And I folded it back, and I knew I needed my Velcro to start right about there to connect with here, okay? And so then I just put my finger on it, took it to the machine, and sewed it, okay? When that was done, when both my Velcro pieces were done, then I secured my folded pouch part by sewing down this edge here, which creates the pouch, okay? Then to cover where I sewed this on the back side, I took some cardstock, 2 pieces, a rectangle piece and a long skinny piece, and I just sewed some scrap fabric onto that cardstock, both of them. And then I trimmed that fabric even with the cardstock, so you can't see the paper, but it just covers it. And then I just layered the rectangle one and the long skinny one on each other, and then sewed around all of that to secure that. So that makes a little decorative top. The cardstock and fabric make a substantial feel to this top so that it goes over really well. And there's your little foam pouch. Very simple, very easy, just using scraps, a little cardstock, and some Velcro, okay? Now, if you have a different closure you want, that's fine too. I find Velcro for something like this the best because it's easy open, easy shut, okay? And this is a scrappy boho look. Don't worry. If you have little imperfections, like right up here, I have my batting is showing a little bit outside of my lining. That's no big deal. This is a scrappy boho. This is just simple homespun, whatever. The imperfections just add some charms to it. Just don't stress over it, okay? Just put something together and make them. You can make several of these in a day, and they make nice little gifts. You can stuff something in them and give it to them, or just the pouch by itself makes a wonderful foam pouch, as you can see, and it fits very nicely. If you have a larger phone or whatever, you can adjust the size of the material let's see, what did I say? That was 13 by 7.5. Was what I used, cut mine at, and I am going to be making several of these. I have a little event coming up soon, and what I want some little gifts to give out, little handouts, and I'm going to be making several of these for that. So when I get some more made, I'll show you what they look like, but meantime, that gives you how to make a little scrappy boho foam pouch in 5 easy steps, just using your scraps, a little cardstock, and some Velcro. Okay, it's all doable. Until next time, let's all stay scrap happy.